Frank, a really difficult night. What are your thoughts?
Well beaten, obviously. Started all right for 15 minutes or so of the game. Controlled a bit of possession, as you can here. We had spoken about the counter-attack, which is obviously a big strength of Tottenham. They play very compact. The counter-attack at speed with top-quality players. We didn't deal with it well enough. Simple as that. And then at 2 or 3-0, it's horrible for any team to try and get back into a game because the momentum's completely gone. Individual moments of bad mistakes, bad defending, and clear on that point.
They were 2 very preventable goals, those first 2, weren't they, really?
Yeah. I've got no more to say than that. You know, I know it's my job to review them and go back, but sometimes you review and you go, well, you know, you don't tell people to leave their area and go bang into midfield and leave spaces to run into. You don't. So some of those are just mistakes. We have to think in the bigger picture and go that there are 13 games to go for us, 8 of those at home, and teams around us are having difficulties, and that's where we're at. And we have to understand that. Before I came in, there were issues which are becoming more clear to me every day. But the important thing, as I lead it, is that the positivity stays. Not stupid positivity. There's nothing positive about tonight, really, other than probably Anthony Gordon and a couple of performances of credit in terms of people that didn't give up. And that should be the bare minimum. And I'll demand that, and it gives me a lot of food for thought going forward.
This issue of the away form, I know it's something that you've inherited. Do you get a sense that there is something of has a mental side to it by now?
Yeah, it has to, but there maybe is. Yeah, there is, but there's a football side to it. And if you give away goals and put yourself 2-0 down in the first 25 minutes or 30 minutes against Tottenham, then, yeah, that mental side will come in very quickly. So football always starts it. And if we're not good enough to deal with situations, then that can happen. No matter how you set up, we can set up to, play a strong back 4. I haven't got enough centre-backs to play really a back 3 at the minute. I know we went to that later in the game, but it was makeshift because we had to try and shore up something. I haven't got them. 2 of my centre-halves got injured in my first 2 games, so we haven't got that. So we have to play a back 4. We want to try and stay compact in midfield. All the messaging is clear, but then when you make errors and leave areas, they're going to score goals. That level of player.
You knew exactly what you were getting into, what you were taking on when you came to Everton, but just how big a challenge does this feel right now?
I've got no problem with the challenge because I did know exactly what it was, and when you come in it becomes very clear. We've had some really good performances. The general feeling around the club has been very good, and we can't lose that now. It'll be hard because people will throw some stuff at us for a one-off game, but in what we're doing at Goodison and the feeling of the fans there has been a big deal. So, and we'll need that going forward. But I've just been in there with the players, and I had 20 years as a player, and some successful ones or not so. I had a 50 or 100 periods like this, for whatever level it is. Everything's relative of, we're not doing as well as we can. What's the reason? Why is it? And it's only important then that you stick together. You work hard, you deal with the things that are not quite right. You look at us and say, we played against the best team in the country, which everyone saw yesterday against Man United last week, and made it really difficult for them, created things, should have got a result out of the game, and then we come here and do that. That's the bit I don't like, the up and down nature of that. That's what that we need to put right.
And throughout your career in football, you've always had belief in your ability. Therefore, how confident are you here and now that you will get this team over the line this season?
Yeah, I'm confident, but that doesn't mean anything to say that now. I'm confident. I know that there's a lot in this team. I know we haven't been here long, and the things I didn't walk into the building with a magic wand and say, I'm going to actually make this team that's won 1 in 14 go on an unbeaten run and we'll be mid-table. It's not possible. And you've seen that with managers that change through the Premier League this year. It takes sometimes a bit of time to get the work together. We've seen it certainly at Goodison. We haven't seen it away from home. That's something we have to tackle. But I'm absolutely confident. That's why I'm here. I wouldn't take on the job because at the time when coming in, it's very clear when I got here that the feeling was we could be going down here. It was very clear in the city, in the club, and it was up to me to change that. And I felt we've changed that. Tonight is a test of that because of the nature of the result. But it doesn't give me any fear about what's coming ahead. I actually can't wait for the 2 games we've got coming up at Goodison. And we can't just think because we're at Goodison it'll be fine, because we've got 2 really tough matches on paper, as the Premier League will show. But I'll be ready for them, and the players will have to be ready for them. And this whole talk about mentality and confidence, it's football. Train hard, prepare for the game, go out and show absolute application, stick your foot in when you need to, work hard, get the basics right, and we'll be all right. We'll be right then.